Hey there, it's Rachel Mullins, the host of Hashtag No Filter Fridays on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media. It's never too late to start over. If you weren't happy with yesterday, try something different today. Don't stay stuck. Do better. Welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. I am so glad that you're here with me today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get out of a rut. And yeah, you never have to stay where you are. It's never too late to start over. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter what day of the month it is. You can always start over with a snap decision of, I'm going to do better. You don't have to stay stuck. You just have to take action into doing something that is going to help you be better than the next second than it was in the last second. And if you'd like to connect with me more, you can head over to Choose to Rise Up. It's tagged here in the here on Public House Media. You can head to choosetorise.com and connect with me there. I love connecting with my listeners. I love connecting with the people that are a part of our tribe, and I would love to have you be a part of us be with us there on Choose to Rise Up on Facebook. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to get out of a rut. And I said at the very beginning, it's never too late to start over. If you weren't happy with yesterday, if you weren't happy with an hour ago, if you weren't happy with the things that have been a part of your past, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay stuck. You get a choice in everything that you do. And so today I'm going to give you some simple tips, some like 7 to 8 little things that you can do to get out of that rut. All right. A number of times I have Googled how to get out of a rut, how to get over this. What can I do to make myself happy? How can I feel better? But you know what? It's really not about something that you're going to find online. It's about taking action. If you can blame the people around you, you can blame the situation, you can blame the weather, you can blame your coworkers, you can blame a lot of other people. But the thing that you really need to do is look internally. I myself am the only one that can change my life. I myself am the only one that can change my mindset. I myself am the only one that can get myself out of my rut. So how do you do that? How do you get yourself out of the rut? Well, first and foremost, you need to identify what it is that's got you in a rut, right? Find out what's got you there. So first you have to realize what's causing the problem. Are you sick of the place that you're in? Are you tired of the job that you have? Are you bored of your appearance, your house? Are you tired of eating the same things all the time? What is it that's bothering you? Okay. Figure out what it is that's got you into this down mood. Is it the things that you're doing on a daily basis? Is it the way that you're thinking? Is it the way that you're not doing things? And then the second thing you do is you just need to change your mindset about it. So when you find yourself you figure out what it is that you want to improve, you figure out what it is that is making you blue, then you have to figure out a way to make a change. So there are lots of things that you can do to snap yourself out of it. And the first thing is that you have to realize that what it is that's got you in the rut, and then realize that being in a rut is easy. And we are programmed to do the easy thing, right? So before you change anything, you have to realize that a rut is the easiest thing to be in. A lot of times we get into routine. We're getting into a place where we're just used to doing these things this way. So for example, when before I started this healthy living journey, it was just really easy to be in my routine of wake up late, of get my kids ready out the door, go to work, come home, be exhausted, do the bare minimum, cook convenient food, eat the things that were just in front of me. That was easy, right? But in order to make a change, I had to do something different. And so when I was tired of being there, when I was in that rut of unhealthy, I had to determine what it was that I didn't like. So I didn't like like being out of energy all the time. I didn't like the way I felt most of the times. So I had to do something different. And I was the one that was in complete control over that. I needed to gain control over my schedule. I needed to gain control over what I was putting in my mouth. I needed to gain control over my thoughts and my feelings and do something that was going to make me feel better. But I was the only one that had to do it. And that was kind of a tough pill to swallow. I like to blame my circumstances. I like to blame the fact that I had kids. What? Like, healthy people have kids. It was just my mindset that was getting me caught up in the comfort zone. And the good things never really come out of your comfort zone. They're easy to be in, but they're not going to get you anyplace. So the third thing is to think about is that change, and just honor the fact that change is not easy, but it's super worth it. I've had lots of certain times in my life when I definitely, with God, made me a night person. Okay. Like, he gave me the gift of burning the midnight oil. I can stay up all hours of the night and, sleep till noon. That was kind of my thing in college. However, that's not how the real world works. Right. And so I had to train myself to be a morning person. I had to make those changes to get up just a little bit earlier to push play on a workout. I had to work on, mastering my morning in order to be able to have the energy that I need for the rest of the day. When you're working from home like this now too, it's so easy just to get comfortable in my space. It's so easy to just be a part of the regular flow. And but now, that's when you really have to be the most diligent in what it is that you want. Or if you're working outside the home too, it's totally something that you can work on, and you just have to make small incremental changes. When you start to make those small changes, they will compound over time into being big results. And so when you can focus on the fact that like change is going to be hard, but like focus on the little things that you can do over time and really, focus on the small things that will add up, it becomes so worth it. And it becomes easy to actually make that change. And then also remember that like you don't have to do it all at once. You can take baby steps. There are some people in this world that love to like go all in, right? Like it's go hard or go home. But not everyone's the same. Some people like the extreme. Some people like to just, go from waking up at noon to waking up at 5. And some people like to back that up. I was definitely one of those people that kind of backed that up. I mean, I was getting up at 6:30, getting my kids ready and getting out the door. But when I wanted to get a workout in, I started getting up at 6 because I knew I had about a 30-minute workout. And then when it got a little longer, I got up a little earlier. Now, over the last few years, I get up at 5 every single morning and get my morning routine in with meditation and devotions and prayer time and just, some of my personal time in the day. And then I get my workout in. And then I do my podcast now. And then I do all of the fun things that I get to do, be a part of my day. And I think of them as fun things because when you think about them as work, like that's just no fun, right? So whatever it is that you need to change in your life, my advice is to take baby steps to get there. You can, it may be going against character a little bit to, do a little bit at a time, but that's how I personally got out of my rut and was changing small things over time to lead up to big results. It's called the compound effect. And if you've not read the book by Darren Hardy, Compound Effect, you should. So the next one is it's just making time for change. You change and you grow. And that's a great thing, right? You're not going to be the same person for your whole life. And if you are the same person your whole life, you're definitely staying stuck in your comfort zone. We're not meant to be the same all the time. So move yourself, declutter yourself, change yourself. Now is time for you to think about how exactly you want to get out of that rut. What can you change in your life? Start with some new habits. Start with getting out of your comfort zone. Change your perspective. Your mindset is everything. Hopefully by now you know that what you want to change because we've gone through these other things. You figured out what it is that is holding you back. You figured out what is making you blue, right? And so now you're starting to think about solutions. So I want you to get out a piece of paper. And if you're driving and listening to this some other time, pause and come back to it. But what you can do is get out a piece of paper and fold it in half. And then on one side, I want you to write the things that you're stuck in, the things that are causing you strife. And maybe you're not necessarily stuck in, but they're things that you want to change about your life. And then on the other side of the paper, I want you to start thinking about solutions, because if we just write down the negatives, we're never going to get anywhere. But if we can focus on the solutions to the issues that we're having in our life, now we're getting places. Now we're able to create an action plan. Now we're able to have fun with it. Now we're able to really think think about the positive sides of things, because what we focus on, we create more of. So if you're always focusing on the negative, if you're always focusing on the things that are getting you stuck, that's where you're going to stay, in the stuck. But when you start thinking about the solutions to these things that have you stuck, if you start thinking about the positive things in your life, that's where you get to have the most fun. That's where you get to have the most change. And that's where you get to propel yourself forward in a good way. Number 6 is embrace change. When tomorrow comes, when next week comes, when you have the opportunity to get rid of the old habits and start with new ones, don't fight it. Don't fight the change. Embrace it. Accept that you are the only one in control of your life, and realize that you can change it in any given moment. Don't let some bad news from a friend stop you. Don't let something that, the life is going to throw you curveballs when you want to make a change. It always does. It's just kind of that like Murphy's Law of like when you try to step outside of your comfort zone, that crab mentality, that's something's going to try to test you and push you back into the comfort zone, because comfort zone is easy, right? We talked about that. But when you really want to get out of it, you can push past those things anyway. And it really comes down to being clear on what you want. It comes down to really owning the change that you want to make and going for it anyway. Stop overthinking things and take control of your life to move forward to the things that you really want to achieve. Now, getting out of a rut and living your best life is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to rise up out of your current situation and live as your best self. God put you on this earth for a reason. He wants you to grow. He wants you to change. He wants you to not live in a rut. He doesn't want you to stay in your comfort zone. Nothing good happens there. So don't be afraid to take full control of your life. Ditch the old ways and decide you are worthy, you are blessed, you are capable, and you are so worthy of having that best life. Realize that you have the decision right inside of you. You have all the things that you need right inside of you. He's given you every single gift that you need, every single skill and ability and thought process that you need to do the things that you were put here to do. And when we live outside of our comfort zone and we continually grow and we continually tap into what he wants us to do in this life and who he is and who he made us to be, it's way easier to get out of your comfort zone and live in the flow of him. So open yourself up for a whole new world of perspective, live your life to the fullest, and have fun with the time that you have here on this earth. Are you ready to get out of your rut? I hope so. So if you are thinking about, what it is that you can do, it's really about getting action. It's about, getting out of the rut and out of your comfort zone and moving forward in a place that is going to help you be and live in your absolute best life. So if you like the show today, if you want to catch up on past episodes, I would love for you to go to Choose to Rise Up and subscribe either on Apple Podcasts or Podbean or wherever it is that you're consuming your podcast today. Thank you so much for coming here to Public House Media, and I can't wait to see your rating and review. I love connecting with my listeners there, and it just helps more people find us as well. So thanks so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your day. Have a good one.